think it was Lupe Fiasco that said, "I ain't dumbing it down for nobody." I mean, he didn't say those exact words, but it's about dumbing it down. We live in this place. It seems to be this whole realm. I don't know, this whole, and to do any questioning of things is highly frowned upon by corporate establishments, obviously, because it gets in the way of the bullshit that they're speaking. And then if someone that is somehow involved in the corporatocracy and the money-making shenanigans to maintain power and control and manipulation over the masses, if somehow someone within those ranks speaks anything that's anywhere near the truth or closer to it, nah, nobody's happy with that. Ain't nobody happy with that. So I like to tell stories in a variety of ways. I'm going to use the word myriad there, but I'll leave that for another time. But it's about Kyrie Irving and Stephen Curry. One came out and said, that's whatever. Curry came out and said, nah, we didn't go to the moon. Like, I didn't go to the moon, he didn't go to the moon. But he was saying it as, whatever the institution is, that is the government and the things that are, according to Noam Chomsky, would be the fifth arm, I believe, of the government, which is media. As they play these stories, this is make-believe game everywhere. And this is what people buy on. People buy and invest their time, their money, and their energy into either suggestion or they buy into the possibility. They buy futures. I mean, everybody, if you're into how fake economics works, you talk about buying futures. You get into the scenario of supposedly, suspectly, possibly in the future there might be something that will happen. You can sell people on speculation. So this is what people do. Speculation. If you see me keep turning around, it's because I'm walking in the street right now. Suggestion and speculation. That's what people. That's where they spend their money. They don't want no honesty. They don't want no real truth. They don't buy that. They teach you this number one thing. You go sell cars. You can sell anything. People buy from those that they like. They don't want to know. You don't sell an automobile by telling somebody about all the awesome new features it has, how safe it is for the family. You don't sell people that. No one does. You can't do it. I could sit there and tell you fact for fact why one vehicle is 1,000 times better than another, and in every way it would be. It might even be cheaper. Who knows? And the person buys on emotion. The human buys on a certain. It's an emotion. It's not even really a feeling, because feelings got hijacked a long time ago. So they buy on emotions, which are all presumptive, and they're all possibility, and they're all. It's like you go to dinner, and your girl never knows what she wants to eat, does she? She wants you to suggest. She wants the waiter to suggest. Hey, what you want it too? I mean, if you do, whatever you want. Hey, what do you suggest? What do you think? Because you don't know. Because ain't nobody out here that has anything to say. They suggest things. They don't know shit. So what happened with this Stephen Curry and this Kyrie Irving thing is so funny to me, because they both said their piece and their truth. And the only thing that happened is all you could see from left to right across the whole mass indoctrination system called the media is people parroting the same idea and calling them like children, stupid, ignorant. They call them ignorant. And in fact, I read a few authors. I don't know what the fuck they authored, but a few posts online They were suggesting that they're not against freedom of speech, but they are against people like Kyrie Irving and Stephen Curry saying something like that, because it's so unfounded in science. It's un-American is almost what they said. Un-American. It doesn't support American. It doesn't support what they called American science. I wish I could point you to the article, because it's so weaselly written by a mealy-mouthed motherfucker, and it said it was un-American and un-American as to the American sciences, as if the American sciences were different than all the other world sciences. So whenever I try to tell these stories, as I'll harken back to a few moments ago, I like to speak in a variety of different fashions for different people. And if I try to connect to somebody in a certain way, I can't connect to a certain subspecies of ideas by just always speaking one thing in one way. And it's a challenge when all you see is a bunch of, like, there's some people that just won't get it. It's so difficult to you know, as somebody that believes in the good of the earth and humanity and whatever the shit's going on here, but then, you know, pop culture is driven by the forces of indoctrination, indignance, idiocy, ignorance, calamity, clowning, tomfoolery. Like, it just it's a whole lot of people, like, and it's always like peer pressure and all that shit too. And it's just I thought years ago that there was something beyond high school, but the more that I watch television with an objective eyeball, all I notice is it's just a continuation of fucking 9th grade. Like, anybody that listens to anything that goes on TV, it really has no more mental process and intelligence than a 10-year-old would, really. And so I think even 9th grade might even be a little too far-fetched for most of these people to even consider coming to that table and sitting down and having anything beneficial to say, you know, to improve the state of awareness, of consciousness of humanity. Because all we got apparently is a bunch of people that don't do shit, that completely succubus off of even find it. Look, it's very simple. Look at these two players. They're loudspeakers, so anything they say is reverbs across a lot. So if they both said something and then all of a sudden a couple days later they look sheepish and say nah, that's not what I meant, that's not what I said, you're looking at it the wrong way. If they said that, you better know that they had somebody just go, you will have an injury in the sport of basketball in the coming months, and you won't be playing anymore, and your contract and all of your endorsements will dry up. Your career's over. You can't be honest to think that didn't happen. It certainly happened. To be in the NBA, I don't know for certain, but there's a pretty big chance that you have to already been tapped in, you know? You already have to have part of the club, right? I think there's some that might not be, but I don't know. I don't think he really could be. So as I'm trying to get to the larger point here, the larger perspective, is that, like, everything is a fucking played out bullshit ass storyline, drama, and nonsense. People that lack anything themselves, that have no integrity, just talk and they just create dialogue about and get in the way of any progress. They create dialogue about some things that have no substance, no reward, no richness, other than their own pocketbooks being filled, their own coffers being filled. And that's what we deal with everywhere we go. Everywhere you go, that's the same damn thing. The same song. It's that he said, she said. And so they play that game You know, like table tennis. They play it back and forth. It's, you know, to them it might be amusing, I guess. But when there's people, I guess they just don't recognize. Because I've had people that have actually said some really Republican-ass, dirty, grimy shit about, like, oh yeah, if anybody needed a job, wanted a job, they just got to go out there and work hard, you know. And that person just ain't my friend no more, because they don't understand. They involve themselves in the politics, but they just phony with it, you know. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. If you're brought up in an environment that doesn't allow for you to know how the politics works, then how the fuck could you expect somebody to know how the storyline, the politics to work? You couldn't. It'd be, you know, that's the silly part. That's the part that the wandering and the wonderments of people say the most clueless, classless things. Looking for dogs out here, I suppose. Doggy hunters. I got a little puppy here. Ah, yes. So as we continue this journey into the abyss, in this warm December evening, night, I don't know. I don't know really what I'm saying too different than what I say in every other video. It's just this constant to listen to this shit on TV. You know, I don't turn the TV on, but you know, obviously it pops up in conversation. If you try to be human, whatever these humans are doing out here, I guess, and you're like, they make a comment on this or that, like, you have to have a little bit of a backdrop, a little bit of an understanding of even what a sport is, what politics is, maybe, you know, a couple ideas that these people have. But in reality, like, if you have any original thoughts on it, ain't nobody really want to talk about it, because they don't. All they're gonna do is parakeet the same shit that was already given to them, you know, regurgitate it like baby birdie. You know, mama just eats up the food and regurgitate it in their mouth, because the children, they don't even want to think. And then I got to get into all the parts where I go, no, I understand why that is. I understand why they don't. But it's it's that noise. I mean, to even listen to the, I mean, maybe the only I would say upside to where all this seems to be geared is the fact that everybody, even the people that won't accept it and say it out loud, they know these people are bullshitting. You know, that's maybe the only upside, and maybe the growing number of people that are woke, they're awake, they're alive, they know what's going on. Like, even most of those people, they still cling to the media to some point. And so maybe the upside is, you know, eventually people, yeah, you guys are full of shit. Like, if you're part of the media, you know, the larger media is right. You're definitely full of shit. That's why you ever see anybody that's on the local news station in your town out? No, you don't see them. not gonna go out like that. You know, it's a silly thing, man. It's people who just continue to talk, man. So, as I was saying the other day, I don't know, I'm gonna be doing any questions and answers, even making videos after this new year for quite a while, because it just seems redundant. I mean, I'm sure I'll have my moments of desiring to share some original idea that I thought I might have had. But even this shit, what I'm saying right now, this is hardly original. I'm speaking originally. You know, I'm not reading this right out of you know, Hemingway's journals or anything, but it's not an uncommon knowledge to have. I know there's a few things I missed, and I wanted to turn this into, as I was saying last show, and at the beginning of this, I wanted to turn this into maybe something different, like the art of storytelling. But this ain't really I took a sidestep off of the path of explaining how to tell a story and just told the story rather than explaining it as I was doing it, which isn't too masterful, but whatever. Yeah, y'all. It's just fucking funny listening to this shit, man. It's like, and if you don't listen to it, like, who the fuck are you talking to about anything? Because people are like, hello, you guys out there? Who the fuck knows? Hope you guys are doing well. Happy day. Fuck the holidays. Every day is a holy day. If you didn't get that notice already, well, you got it now. Stay cool. Stay amused. Stay amusing. Or change it up and do something new.